lane is where the truth comes alive. From the headlines to the plot, she's got her ear to the ground, serving news that's real with the beat and a sound. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth, flipping Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall. Calm in the storm, that urban kid. She's got style and grace like a journalistic trick. From the heart of the city to the outskirts wild, she captures the world like a camera dial. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth, flipping Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall. Calm in the storm of that urban kid. She's got style and grace like a journalistic trick. From the heart of the city to the outskirts wild, she captures the world like a camera dial. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth, flipping Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall. She paints a shape that aren't black or white. In the ink of her stories, there's always some light. No matter where you are, you'll hear her call, echoing the truth, standing tall. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth, flipping Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the Odyssey Podcast with your girl Word, and of course the First Lady, the First Lady OG, and this is Word on the Street. Yes, we are back in the building. Welcome to everyone coming in. Welcome, 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 welcome to the Odyssey Podcast. First of all, I would just like to tell you guys, thank you guys so much to all the subscribers. Thank you so much for keeping me going, keeping me in the algorithm, leaving me comments and little notes and giving me feedback. I appreciate you guys so, so very much for that. Thank you to the Bush Watchers, the replay gang. You guys already know I appreciate you guys. And last but not least, thank you to my beautiful, beautiful moderators, because without them, none of this could be possible. Like, they definitely hold it down. So just special shout outs to my moderators, keeping me on my toes, keeping me in tuned. I appreciate you guys so, so very much. You guys already know what I'm going to tell you. If you are not subscribed to Marta the Smarter, then you need to be subscribed to Marta the Smarter. Yes, Marta the Smarter Virtual Assist right here. Virtual Assist, 10:01 a.m. If you are a new content creator, and even if you've been an older content creator and you're in search of putting out new content to revamp yourself, Marta the Smarter is the person you need to be around and definitely need to be in study hall for. Like I say, 10:01 a.m. She also assists with work from home. So if you're now feeling like you're tired of going out there and working every day and you want to change up your opportunities, she shows you different ways to stay at home and work and make money while you'll still be able to still live your life. You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, 10:01 a.m. Check out Marta the Smarter. That's when study hall starts. And trust and believe me, I promise you, you won't go wrong if you check her out. Go over there, subscribe, make sure and hit the notification bell. And when you do walk in the building, just let it be known by putting a thumbs up that you in there and you want the content to keep coming. With that being said, I also want you guys to run over to First Lady OG. First Lady OG, Hollis. First Lady OG is what is going on? First Lady OG Hollis voice is Auntie. You guys, please go check out First Lady Hollis voice. First Lady OG is Auntie's house. Please go check it out. I don't know what is going on with me right now. Forgive me. Forgive me, guys. I'm going through a little tongue tie. I don't know what's happening. With that being said, if you ain't subscribed, you need to be subscribed. And like I'm going to tell you, you trust and believe me, you won't want to miss a live. You just won't want to miss a live. But we got the First Lady OG in the building, so I know she definitely wants to greet her people. So I am actually going to send over the mic to the First Lady OG and let her talk to you guys, and then we'll jump right in.
Hey, Triple, what's going on? Many blessings. Thank you again, Theodicy Podcast, Word Justice, the host, segment Word on the Street. And again, Theodicy Podcast as a whole. Appreciate you. Shouting out to the comments in the building already. I can't find the hearts and stuff. I don't know how to put emojis on YouTube. That's why my shit is dry. But take it as love. Take it as love. I want to say I am the voice. Y'all already know what we about to say. Let's break it down. The visualizer of opportunity for inner city children everywhere. That's what the voice stands for. And what? You two have a song. We want to sing. If you want to become a voice, please make sure you DM me at Gmail so that I can send you the link to become a part of the Voices, which is the community in which we are a little private, little separate little group where we get together and discuss the things, the next flow of Auntie House and things of that nature, and how we moving along and how we're using um, whatever we're receiving from First Lady Entertainment to fund Auntie House right now and until we get it, But it's being constructed right now properly. So give us a minute, give us a minute. But anyhow, enough about that. We can talk about that later. Let's get it going. What we're here for. All right. I'm excited. I'm sorry. Y'all know I'll go off.
All right, so you guys already know, and like I said, make sure you guys are taking notes and going to every we missed one more person. Please go check out Savage Royalty True Crime TV. She's right here on YouTube. Go check out Savage Royalty. She's definitely an inspiring young woman. When I tell you, I definitely I get a lot of inspiration from her from even prior before. But when I tell you guys, without a doubt, if you interested in true crime stories, she's definitely the one to go subscribe to, and make sure you hit the up like button when you enter her building and notification bell. When I tell you she does her breakdowns are phenomenal. They are phenomenal. You won't regret it. With that being said, let's jump right into the commentary. When we left off last night, I left off playing the baby mother to Jarvis Butts. Okay. So I want to dive in even more. The reason why I actually played the testimony of uh Jarvis Butt's baby mother is because it puts him in placement of using her car, and Nizea was in her vehicle. So those were the certain reasons to why now the baby mother came into play. But do I feel like she has anything to do with the helping of covering up Nizea's murder, I would say, or Nizea missing? No, I don't feel like she plays a part at all. But like I said, where we left off at was her testimony and what she found in her car, which was a glasses. They questioned her in regards to the glasses and what she felt about it or whatever have you. Um, and with that being said, we're gonna dive in to another testimony that I want you guys to listen to. This is Nizea's aunt, Shannon, which has 5 children by Jarvis Butts. I'm going to play the testimony and then we'll jump right in.
And can you kind of describe the relationship between Desire and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
How often would Jarvis be around, at your house with you?
He will call or say, can he come see the kids? Or the kids will ask him to see their dad, and he will come pull up either to my house where I used to live or at my mother's house.
Would Desire ever be around?
All the kids would be around.
To your knowledge, would Nasiah ever text Jarvis?
From my knowledge,
Hello. Give me 1 second. Shout out to my moderator in the building. Hello, Sonia. Hello. You know, I'm always happy when you pull up in the building. I'm sorry, First Lady. I know you want to greet Sonia. Go ahead. My bad. I was all
love and light, Sonia. Peace, love,
You
and
know, I
light.
always be happy when I see you come up in the building. I be like, there goes Sonia.
no, unless I will have her to text.
But to your knowledge, you didn't know of any kind of separate outside relationship.
No.
Would there ever be times where, where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Pardon?
Where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Where did I know him to work at?
Yes.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Gratiot and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Okay. Would you ever know this guy to help Jarvis Butts at his shop?
Yes. He will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and Nasiah come and work up at the shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first regarding Nasiah.
And which daughter of yours would that be?
That would be my oldest, Janiyah.
Would you ever know Nasiah to go to Jarvis's shop alone?
No.
Have a bad roof?
Okay, hold on, guys.
Damaged or leaking,
Let me let him get through it talking about leaking roofs and damages, and you guys already know how that go.
Whose birthday is on or around September 26th?
That's my 4th oldest birthday.
Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
What are times that you would text Jarvis on a text now number?
The only time I would text Jarvis, I would text my number if my phone is off. Other than that, no.
And do you recall the numbers that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586-510-5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
And what about a 586-842-4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
Okay, and is that a number you would also text Jarvis? And what number did you have for Jarvis Funds?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for Nasiah?
It was a funny. The area code was a 231.
Okay. I'm going to show you some messages from People's Exhibit 16. And ask you some questions about them, okay?
Okay.
You're in a man approach?
Yes.
I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023. Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Butts?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay, and you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay, and now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Butts?
No.
What about any messages from July 2nd of 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
What about messages from August 26th of 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts? August 26th.
No. These aren't my messages.
Did Jarvis Butts ever tell you that Desire texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate Desire on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, has he seen Tuda any whereabouts? And he said no Tuda, and he responded back. Oh, wow. I didn't hear what you said. The last part. Last part, I texted him. Well, at first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time, I sent him a message. Still no Tuda. He replied back, oh, wow. Okay, thanks.
Okay. And Karen, may I approach?
Yes.
Hold on one moment, y'all. I don't know about nobody else right now, but the energy from the beginning with the aunt stating that she doesn't know, that she only uses a text now number if her phone is off. However, a text now number was used. Like I believe this is the prosecution talking at this point in regards to the messages that they were able to uncover from the phones. A text now number
Exactly, Sonia.
was used on the aunt's phone with messages that were between Jarvis Butts and what she claims to say she doesn't know who the messages came from or who sent it out because she wasn't the one who did it. So she's trying to state she has no knowledge of the messages. That's bullshit. It's your phone. It's your phone. You've been seen the messages. You already know what time. You already know what was going on. I mean, she doesn't give me good vibes at all. And her demeanor is very, very like, well, whatever. In other words, you my niece and you was sleeping with my man and whatever's whatever. All these women, even the grandmother was covering for his ass. Well, listen, Sonia, we are going to go into the grandmother's testimony as well, and we're going to discuss that. And it's just reviewing the case up until he goes to trial, and also just little certain things that were significant in which I feel like they all should be locked up. With that being said, let me start it.
And just for record references, I'm showing there what's going to be proposed. People's Exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Yes.
And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number.
Okay, and who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And is this, I guess, these fairly inaccurately represent these two messages?
3, 4, 5.
6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 through January 11th, 2024.
The first page is, yes, it's correct. Second page is correct. Yes.
Okay. And so January 9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told him that there was still no ton-up.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. And on January 11th, was the guy still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
I just asked that if you could read from the text message, just read.
I can. No, Judge. These fairly inaccurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between, let me start back earlier. Some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024. These fairly inaccurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 48. Objection. Thank you. So on January 11th, did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay. And to backtrack just a little bit, on December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed the diet or anything?
Yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's?
Hold on. Needed Naziah for what? Why would you be texting your baby father to ask him if he needs Naziah for anything? What possibly could he have needed from Naziah? And then why are you even sending this child alongside your other daughters with a man that you knew prior, before being involved with him, that he had a history of sexual offenses against minors.
And she got 5 babies with him?
5 babies with him. And listen, it's a bombshell when you really listen to the questions in which the prosecution is asking and in which the way she answers it. I want you guys to keep something in mind. Naziah was using the aunt's phone the entire time in order to communicate with Jarvis Butts. Keep that in mind. So, how is it feasible that you didn't know that an inappropriate relationship was happening with your baby father and Naziah? But guess what else? When I play this, I'm going to play another audio in which a cousin details a particular timing, and this woman still does nothing. Even when the cousin says, well, you need to call the police. She's like, oh no, I'm gonna just call my mom and ask my mom and talk to my mom. What are you talking about? But like, I'm gonna play the audio for you guys to hear it. That's why we got to break it down in multiple parts, because it's definitely a lot of information that ties everyone that she was immediately around to her missing.
Mhm.
And a year later, we already know, and it's so sad to say, rest her soul, but we already know that this young lady is not alive. It is allegations that are out here that stated that her body was disposed of in a swampy area within the Detroit area that carries crocodiles um, and alligators. Now, I went and did my own research, and yes, they do have crocodiles and alligators, but the crocodiles and alligators that are being found or even able to escape is coming from people that are owning these pets in these areas in certain parts of Detroit. I'm going to go and dive a little bit deeper as we go in to give you the breakdown that the alleged possibility that she was eaten by alligators may not be factual. Unless Jarvis Butts knew someone who owned a
Mhm.
few alligators or crocodiles, and they then was able to dispose of her that way. But within the area that the clothing was found, her body has to be within that same area. And it's very, very rare for crocodiles or alligators to be seen in that particular area. It's like very, 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 like very few that you would come across. And if you do come across them, the few that you will come across is because, like I said, people take them and try to own them as pets. And when they can't take care of them no more, what they do is basically unleash them and let them run wild. And that's how they end up being found under people's cars, in people's garages. They literally stay in cold areas though. They dump they dump them in rivers and okay. Okay. So you're familiar with that. You're familiar with that, Sonia. And this is what I mean, where her clothes was found. And like I said, for me, I think her body's not too far away from where her clothes was dumped, to be quite honest. First Lady OG, before I go any further, what is your thoughts so far on listening to how the aunt Shannon is speaking, especially when she had stated prior before that her and Nizea had a close relationship.
I don't believe her, first and foremost. I definitely do not believe her with that. Oh my God, so many people failed this little girl. It's just that no gate is there to eat people. Exactly. It's like we said, that saving face, trying to save face is something that's just so to me. I'm just like, I don't believe her though. She knows. Even if that was, even if, okay, so wait. So now this is the grandmother's daughter. That's her aunt. And so does that mean, okay, so she was using the aunt's phone to talk to him, or he was using the aunt's phone to talk to her. Either way, the aunt had to see those messages, or ain't no way in hell you on my phone 24 or 7 or always need to use my phone, and I'm not going to ask you what the hell you doing on my phone. So I think that they're full of it, and I don't know. I think they're full of it because there's no way. Like I said, I'm not really sure about the phone situation, but if he's using the aunt's phone to talk to her, then the aunt still see the shit going back and forth in your phone because I'm asking you what the fuck are you doing in my phone? Why do you keep wanting my phone? And if I'm not doing that, then that means I already know what's going on.
So what I will tell you is that Jarvis Butts had his own phone. It was Naziah that was using the aunt's phone in order to get in contact with Jarvis because they stated, and I don't want to give too much because I actually want you guys to listen to the testimony, and then we're going to dive into what I consider to be very contradictory. So, but finish up, First Lady. But just want to give you that tip. I'm coming right now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm again. I'm definitely feeling like I don't believe her. Like I don't believe any of them. I think I can't wait like till where it says to play the audio on what really happened to her and how everybody's supposed to be involved. Apologies. I don't care what your part was in it, but you did have a part in it. If you was in either place, like she's 13. Like y'all all should be ashamed of your fucking self. Like really. Pardon me. Pardon me. All right. Let's go ahead. Oh, she needed me to hold it down. Okay, so but yeah, so I'm a little definitely upset with that. She's 13. And he had her groomed, and I don't know, but she was tired of it. Why she kept doing it, I don't know. And nobody never said whether she ever tried to tell. There's always the stories that people want to act like they don't believe her, and they be doing that on purpose because they already be knowing what's going on. So it ain't even a fucking about believing her. Just can't believe that she had the fucking audacity to fucking tell. Like she ain't stupid. She know this shit going on with her ain't right. And that's crazy. But all you gotta do is pay attention. Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be allowing that if I knew that. I mean, it would never even be that. Because motherfucker already had a fucking record. This is like 4th time offender. Like harsh offender. He shouldn't even have been on the fucking street. And he damn sure shouldn't have been around kids without no fucking label around his fucking neck like a dog leash. Since that's what you want to act like.
All right, guys, I'm back in the building, and let's finish up here in this testimony.
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay, and did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay, and what did the message say?
Tala said, do you still need her too?
Okay, and do you know what is that referring to?
It was, Tala had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Putz. That's fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is, to be honest, these messages I seen into the inbox to you. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon. I mean it. The next message is I don't know what to say where Twitter is on. Because this shit doesn't sit right with me. Call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says, this for life. Nigga, I thought about it. And you can pass it. And don't call me, no need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay, so you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
Tell me, how did you see some messages? First of all, where are these messages? Where were they at?
Day of Officer Gardner came to pick up Nazia's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. Officer Gardner, after that, Officer Gardner called and said she's on her way.
Without saying what?
Okay, I'm sorry. The officer had called and said that they was on their way to come pick up the tablet.
Hold on 1 minute, guys. Sorry about that, guys.
Sustain as far as hearsay.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Continue.
So the tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. She has 2 passwords that I normally know. So one of them is referenced for her brother's birthday, and the other one is referenced for my password. So I put the first password in, it didn't work. So I put the second password in. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Buck Instagram page. I clicked on his page and I seen 2 messages.
Okay, and what were the messages that you saw? Who were they between, first of all?
Nazia, my niece, and Jarvis.
Okay, and what were the messages that you seen?
It was roughly 2 messages that I have seen that I can recall. And states,
I'm gonna object to this hearsay. they have not been admitted, and the messages themselves would be the evidence. Were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay. And you said you saw 2 messages?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see anything else?
It was two sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. There wasn't nothing there, but you know it was a picture was sent.
All right. What did seeing those messages, what did they cause you to do?
Well, when I see no messages, I called him and Jarvis Butts.
Okay.
Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said it's 2. And
I'm sorry. I'm pausing myself out when I really want to pause this audio real quick. Hold on. Wait a minute. The prosecutor just asked this woman, the messages you seen, were they inappropriate? And she stated no. So now you're calling your baby father to ask him what was the messages about, but you just stated that it wasn't inappropriate. So if it wasn't inappropriate, why would you have to call him to find out what the messages was about?
Mm-hmm.
Am I tripping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna continue. Like, come on, make this shit make sense. Because that's, as for me, don't let me be prosecution, because I'm gonna ask you. Did you realize what you just stated? Because it would be no reason if the messages were not inappropriate in no way. It would be no reason for you to feel the need to feel offended to then call Jarvis to question him about what you just seen. So whatever you seen, it was definitely
You didn't like it either.
Okay.
These messages, I told him what the messages were, and he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
Okay. And reading those messages, is that what caused you to text
Mr. Butts, yes.
Mr. Butts, in that you've seen the messages in the inbox and you don't really know what to believe anymore?
Correct.
Okay. One second. So,
that entire part, Sonia, that entire friggin' part, the messages that were put out during this testimony for the preliminary hearing definitely showed a whole different description to what this woman is sitting on the stand and saying right now. Like, she cannot be serious.
I'm going to take you back to January 9th. Were you home that day?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see Nasiah that day?
I see her that morning, correct.
Okay. And do you remember what she was wearing at all?
Her coat and her uniform at the time. She had on some blue jeans. I don't really recall the outfit. I just know the coat she had on.
And what was the coat that she had on?
She had on, it was a 90s coat with all the characters on it.
Okay. And you recall seeing her wearing that the morning of January 9th?
Correct.
You remember that? We'll already exhibit 2?
Yes.
I'm going to show you exhibit 2. Can you tell me, do you recognize a coat in this photo?
Yes.
And whose coat do you recognize that to be?
Zayas.
Okay. Now, when you saw Nasiah that morning, what did you do the rest of the morning?
Nothing. I was at home with my mom and my 2 children.
And do you ever leave the house at any point that day?
No. I was at the house the whole entire day.
And, do you know what time Desire would normally get home from school?
On certain days, she will stay for after school, and then on certain days, she will come home. The days she will stay for after school is 6. And the days that she don't is at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And on January 9th, do you know if Neziah had the after-school program?
Yes. At that time, my mom took her out of the after-school program, so she will come home directly at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And were you home at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And did you see Neziah come home?
No.
Okay. And did you see her come home at all the rest of the night?
No.
Did you leave at any point after 3 o'clock?
No.
Did you, when Desire didn't come home, did that cause you to experience or feel any type of way?
It did. When she didn't come home is when my mom went to go pick up the other 2 children from the after-school program. They knocked on the door and they had asked a question that said,
Sounds like you're saying.
Was it a response or?
A question isn't hearsay technically.
I think she said.
It's just a question.
I'm just getting ready to say a question. Okay,
What was the question?
the 2 children had asked me, Mom said, did
That's like you're saying.
did Neziah come home?
You're saying as mom said. Okay, so were you asked directly whether Neziah came home?
So my mom was still in the car, I was inside the house. They was coming to the house, walking up to the door. When I opened the door, they asked me, Mom said, did Neziah come home? I said, no.
Okay. And was Neziah home at all?
No.
Okay. And, did you do any sort of looking for Neziah that night?
Yes.
What did you do?
I called my twin sister. I called some of her friends that I know that stays close by. If they had seen Neziah, heard from Neziah and everything. And when I reached out to my sister, she said no. Her friend said no. So after that, I asked my mom if she wanted me to call police. She said no, she will take it up in the morning.
Just one second.
Mhm.
And did you know, Neziah to have, a pair of red and black Nike shoes?
Yes.
And if I showed you a picture of them, would you be able to identify them?
Yes.
And may I approach? Yes. For the record, this is going to be from Google Push Exhibit 14. And I'll be pictured. Do you recognize these shoes?
Yes, that's a pair of shoes that my mom bought for to the birthday.
Okay. Now, back on the 9th, you said, your mom was going to file a police report in the morning.
All right.
Okay, did you go with her to file a police report in the morning?
No, it was my older sister.
Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find Neziah?
Yes, we went out, I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers, and everything that we need to do. Now, what was asked of us to do.
Since January 9th, 2024, have you seen Isaiah?
No.
Have you, since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from Isaiah?
No.
Nothing further at this time, Judge.
Okay. Okay. I mean, for me, I think that I'm absolutely disgusted. And I think that not only the judge knew it, and even the defense attorney that's defending Jarvis Butts knew what the cover up was. It is so many holes within this woman's testimony that she needs to be locked up alongside Jarvis Butts because she is fully aware of where Nizia's body is. Okay, let's make that quite clear. And for me, we can say allegedly, I am speaking from a place of my opinion, and I just have this energy that I feel when it comes down to this aunt. First Lady OG, what's your thoughts on hearing what she stated? Like I said, it's definitely a lot of holes within the testimony, and a whole lot.
No, it is. It is. It's like it's making it hard to even listen to because it's just so full. Like, honestly, I'm appalled that they even like went so far. Like they drug it so far. Like nobody broke down. Like, oh my God, I can't believe what I am doing. Naziah, I'm so, I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Not only did y'all allow her to be raped by him for that whole almost 2 years. She's like 11 and 12 years old, and y'all know this nasty dog is smutting her, and y'all know it. Like, what makes y'all ain't shit? Like, where's the story about what happened? Like, how she literally lost her breathing to this side of the dimension. Like, I wanna, I
I'm gonna
want.
be real with you. I think even right now that the grandmother should not have custody of no children at all,
No.
whether it's her biological bloodline or foster children, because I'm gonna give you guys a little insight when it comes down to Niziah. Jarvis Butts is not the first person that sexually assaulted Niziah. The first time Niziah was actually sexually assaulted, she was, I believe, 9 years old or 10 years old when she was being sexually assaulted by a neighbor's older son that was in his 20s, but he was autistic. Now, when you go into that whole process of a person that may carry autism, then it's everything that they're being taught, what they're being shown, and understand something. You can definitely make them sexually heightened by depending on the type of exposures that's being put out there and put in front of them. Okay. So when that was discovered that the neighbor's older son was sexually abusing Niziah, the grandmother had to move locations after them going through the court proceedings or whatever have you.
That's
And
hiding.
so the incident that
That's
she's at,
right there. They moved in order to keep something quiet. They moved in order to not be able to say anything about nobody or something. Like they moved for a fucking reason.
Right. So it states that this is allegedly what is being stated, that she had to move because it made it where all the other kids that she does have custody of is in danger. So the place that Antoinette Harris is currently living at was the residence that she had to move to due to the sexual abuse that went on with Nizea. Okay. And so now they move to this next spot. The aunt is involved with this man. And the reason why the aunt should definitely be locked up, and she definitely needs to, in the process of being locked up, she definitely needs psychiatric assistance, because to be, and she definitely, she is very insecure, because for you to sit there and a man tell you that he's been charged, or right now he's facing charges for sexually abusing two children, and you still continue, even if he's like, oh no, it's a lie, I don't know why they saying that, I'm investigating, but red flag right there, I don't even want to have no association, but I'm still going to investigate your ass, even though I'm not going to have no association, because knowing that that's what you are, then you don't need to be on the streets. This man was able to stay off the sex registry list for approximately 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
And this is where even the law failed. The law definitely failed when it came down to this whole situation. The law, the government, everybody just failed through this whole. Her immediate family, 100% definitely failed her. When you look at this picture that's up right now that we're looking at, Nizea is pregnant in this picture. Doing the time measure from when she told Jarvis that she was pregnant to her missing right now, if she was still alive, you can calculate that she would have now been 3.5 months going into 4. This shit is ridiculous. Okay? You sit there and you stated that she was supposed to come straight home. First, you stated she went to after school. So now my next question is, was she in after school, or was she not in after school because your mother took her out? But wait until you hear the grandmother's testimony, because the grandmother testimony definitely contradicts everything the daughter stated in this testimony. After his case is over, I think the aunts and grandma is going to get charged with lying on the stand and child abuse. I definitely think that they definitely should. And I do feel that they knew that Nizea was pregnant, and it was probably meant for a procedure to happen. They tried to self do the procedure. It ended up failing. That's just going off of the testimony and records that was found in Google search out of Jarvis's data. Uh, Pretty much. Okay? Like, but you sit there and you state. So for me, even when she just stated, it was like, okay, so was she in the program or was she not in the program? Was she taken out of the program or was she not taken out the program? Because I, for the life of me, can't understand, if you guys knew that she would have been at the program, it would have been no worries, because the grandmother goes to go pick them up from the program when the program is over at 6. So the grandmother would have collected everybody, right or wrong. She was able to collect the other 3 kids that was in the program. Okay.
Right.
Oh, well, my mom took out the program, so yeah, she was supposed to be home at, like, what are you talking about? What are we really talking about here? So did your mom take out the program that same day? Listen, But when you listen to the grandmother's testimony, like I said, the grandmother contradicts everything that Antoinette said. I mean, the Antoinette is the grandmother, Shannon is the daughter. Antoinette contradicts everything that Shannon has testified to. Period. But with that being said, you guys, I will be back. Hold on. I don't want to leave yet. I want to finish off this real quick. I want to finish off this whole testimony, and I want you to keep this in mind. And I posted the preliminary hearing for you guys to be able to hear it for yourself. If you just want to sit and listen to the whole preliminary hearing with all the testimonies nonstop, I did post it onto the community wall.
There's have some questions for you. You and Mr. Butts have been, or you've known him for about 12 years. And fair to say that you were in a dating relationship with him for most of that time. But towards the end, like last year, it was more off and on. Fair to say?
No, it was on and off for years.
For years, okay. But you had 5 children with him.
Correct.
And this relationship that you had with him, even towards the end when it was on, it was a sexual relationship, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you go to a motel to have sex with him.
Correct. Yes.
And that motel was the Park Reston.
Or SharePoint.
There was more than one.
Multiples, yes.
Okay. But one of them was the Park Rest. Said yes.
Correct.
And then it said in Harper Woods.
Correct.
On Harper.
Correct.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Butts, or do you suspect that Mr. Butts has taken other women to those motels also?
Correct.
You do.
Mm.
I believe you said that you have, of your 5 children with him, 2 are girls
Yes.
and 3 are boys.
Correct.
And in January of this time, well, January 2023, you were living with your mother on Bedford, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, were you living in Clinton Township?
Correct.
When did you leave your Clinton Township home and move to the Bedford home?
October 23.
Oh, I seen a text. She told Jarvis to go sleep with her aunt and then come down to me. And when I tell you, Sonia, the text messages are so explosive alongside the testimony of Antoinette Harris and Shannon Harris. It's crazy. The text messages were so explicit that when you guys actually hear it, which we are going to dive into, and I would have loved to been able to stay longer, but I have to head out to work, guys, so I can't stay but too long. So I want to finish it up for you guys when it comes down to Shannon Harris testimony. This is now the defense talking to her and questioning her. What we first listened to was the prosecution. So now it's the defense.
And so there were times when you were in Clinton Township that Mr. Butts would travel out there to see the kids.
Correct.
And then when you moved to the Bedford address, he would go to the Bedford address to see the kids.
Correct.
And then the Bedford address is when Desire was also living there, correct?
Correct.
And yes, it was a lot of pics that she took that was inside of his shop. But even for the life of me, you knew, excuse me, guys, you knew what he was. You knew what he was. And what you basically did was facilitate his appetite of sickness when it comes down to children in order for you to keep a man to look a certain type of way. And then you were even comfortable with knowing that he was involved with other women besides you. So that goes to show you what type of, I don't want to call her out her name, but I want to call her everything but a child of God. Okay? I'm telling you right now. I want to call this woman everything but a damn child of God, because she's lying through her blasted teeth. And she definitely needs to be in jail with him. Go get those dollars. We understand. I appreciate you so much, Sonia. That's why I love you. I'm gonna finish it off and then we're gonna close it.
And I believe you just testified that on January the 9th, you were living at that house.
Correct.
And you were there during the day.
Correct.
And so were you one of the first people that realized that Neziah did not come home when she was expected to be home?
Well, I didn't realize it until I had got a question. By the other kids had asked, did I have Neziah came home yet, or have I seen him? And I said no.
Do you remember what time that was in the afternoon?
That was in the evening. My mom picked them up 6 o'clock.
That was about 3 hours later than she normally should have been home.
Correct.
Was that surprising?
Yes, it was. One, we thought that she was at the after school program, but it.
Sonia, I would definitely be playing the grandmother's testimony tomorrow. We will definitely be playing the grandmother's testimony, and then we're going to go into the actual text messages. So, we're in the building. Stay tuned, Sonia. You already know. That's why I love you, because you're reading my mind. I will definitely, me and the First Lady OG will be in the building for you guys to hear the grandmother's testimony alongside the text messages that were they were able to uncover from the phones that were found.
It didn't dawn on no one until my mom came back to the house and she wasn't here, or she wasn't in the car when they had got in the car.
So when you all realized that she wasn't at school and she wasn't at home, was that surprising?
Yes.
But you didn't go to police that night?
No.
Did she ever not return home previously?
This is her first time ever doing this.
Did she have friends in the neighborhood that she would go visit?
Yes.
And you said, are those the folks that you contacted to ask?
Yes.
You were just shown a pair of red and black Nike shoes, right?
Correct.
And you identified those shoes as being Neziah's shoes. Is that correct?
Correct.
It's a shoe that looks like the shoe that Neziah is wearing, right?
Correct.
You can't say for sure that that exact shoe came from Neziah, is that fair to say?
Correct.
I think you testified that very rarely would you ever use text now to contact Mr. Butts.
Right.
Only if your phone was turned off.
Right.
And that was not very often.
Right.
Would Neziah ever have access to your phone to use it?
Yes. Like she would ask, hey, TT, can I see your phone? Sure, I wouldn't mind. Yes.
And so would she text from that phone?
Probably, yes.
Did you ever notice any text from
No.
her on your phone?
No.
Did you ever notice if she had used your Text Now app?
No, the only time when I would notice something is say if me and Jarvis would
Let me pause it right there. Let's make this quite clear. That's when she called herself up. Okay? TT. Okay? You don't hear.
I ain't noticed nothing. She said the only time I ain't noticed nothing. The only time I noticed nothing was Let me see. The only time I didn't notice nothing. Like what?
And
What?
then I'm gonna just tell you guys right now, okay? TT. TT is a Hispanic, very Hispanic. You'll notice that if you around Hispanic people, like for instance, my uncle is married to a Dominican female, right? And my daughter calls her Titi. Like, that's how they associate what we call as auntie or aunt. But you would more or less hear us say Auntie Shannon or Auntie Shan or whatever, you know what I mean, off name you'll call somebody, right? Whatever nickname I should say. Let me say that better. Whatever nickname you will call that person, you're not going to hear unless she's mixed with Hispanic or something. That right there was a blow of shit that came out that woman's mouth. Just that statement alone. And then everything else that came out her mouth.
We want to be on the same page and eye to eye, and I will call them and say why you will call me, or like why you continue to keep calling me, and I will say I haven't called you all day or in 2 days. Then I will go ask my kids like, hey, are y'all calling your dad because I haven't called him?
Wouldn't he know if his kid is calling him?
Exactly.
Wouldn't he know that if it's the kids? Based on just kids alone. Damn, if you're not going to answer the phone, then I'm going to text you. Wouldn't he know that? Why would you have to then tell him it wasn't you? You know why you're a crock of shit? Because the whole time you knew that he, yet again, was having an inappropriate relationship with this 13-year-old girl, in which he was having this inappropriate relationship with her since 2022. I could slap her face right now. I'm telling you.
That.
In Desai's Instagram account, did you ever notice anything on your phone that caused you to be concerned?
No,
Between Desai and Mr. Lutz?
no.
Mr. Butsy said would come to the house to see his kids. He would drop them off at the house sometimes. He would take them places.
Yes.
He would pick Janaya up from there.
Depending on like if he will pick up the kids, if I need him to pick up the kids from the pick up or drop off spot, for school, he will do that. Yeah.
And then take them either to Clinton Township when you live there or to the Medford Street address.
Correct.
Okay. But most times he wouldn't even come to the house, right?
And with that being said, guys, I love you guys. I gotta get ready to head out of here. Before I leave, I just want to just tell you guys, thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout outs to all of my subscribers, all of the new subscribers. Shout out to you guys too. Thank you for the replay gang, my bush watchers, and last but not least, my beautiful moderators. Every single moderator. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate you guys very much. When I tell you we will be back tomorrow, we will continue the rest of Shannon's testimony and then jump into Antoinette's. And of course, we'll jump in to the explosive text messages that were able to be uncovered. I love you guys so much. I definitely can't even do this without you guys. And every time I pull up in the building, it's always a pleasure. I mean, you guys don't even know. You guys send me off with really good energy. And I just want to thank you guys always for that because it's always well needed and always appreciated. With that being said, First Lady OG, I'm going to leave you with the last words. And my people, as we would say, from my family to your family, peace, love, and light. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you guys enjoyed the content, I appreciate you guys yet again. Like I would say, this is the Odyssey Podcast with your girl Word and the First Lady OG. And First Lady OG, take it away.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. This is the Odyssey Podcast. Again, host Word Justice, segment Word on the Street. Make sure that y'all follow at I Am Auntie House. Come see me, firstladyent.com, firstladyent.com. If you would like to become a voice, please DM me or a Gmail address, or put it on the community wall, or DM me, please. If anything was to happen to the internet, this is where we would still be able to be connected. So if anything happens to the apps, I should say, we'll still be able to be connected. So please make sure that you follow up, and make sure I have your Gmails. All love, Sonia. I love you, girl. Thank you so much. I'm about to go back and finish watching the stuff that you sent. Thank you again. Like I said, if you didn't hit that like button on the way in, definitely hit it on the way out. Make sure you hit the bell and subscribe so you never miss a live. Again, check me out over at I Am Auntie House, at I Am Auntie House. Subscribe over there, and I'll be over there with some content as well. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Peace, love, and light to all.
Yes, and before we leave out, the aunt didn't like her either because she was sharing her man. She thinks she helped hide the body. Shoes that was found are not the same shoes she had on getting off the bus. Listen, Sonia, we got so much to dive into. Yes, yes, yes. You are speaking my language. Like the first lady said, peace, love, and light from our family to yours. Until next time, this is the Odyssey Podcast with your girl Word and the First Lady OG. And yes, of course, we're gonna end y'all off the uh with the end off. Give me 1 second, y'all. I be going through a whole motion, y'all. Sometimes I promise you, because I got a lot of stuff in my phone. A lot of stuff. All right, we're gonna send y'all off right. Let's get it.
She says sound smooth, got the city on a vibe with that justice in her name is where the truth comes alive. From the headlines to the plot, she's got her ear to the ground, serving news that's real with a beat and a sound. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth with the Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall. A calm in the storm with that urban kick. She's got style and grace like a journalistic trick. From the heart of the city to the outskirts wild, she captures the world like a camera dial. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth with the Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall. Calm in the storm with that urban kick. She's got style and grace like a journalistic trick. From the heart of the city to the outskirts wild, she captures the world like a camera dial. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth with the Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall. She paints a shade that aren't black or white. In the ink of her stories, there's always some light. No matter where you are, you'll hear her call, echoing the truth, standing tall. Word on the street, justice in the air, bringing you the truth with the Caribbean flair. Celebrities and community, big stories and small. Word brings the light so you don't feel the fall.